this is how it starts.
This is how it goes.
This is how it goes.
Wow.
This is called the One Woman Show.
Wow.
Hyper Caroline Hovey.
Hyper.
Yeah.
I like it.
How's it going?
Hyper Cody Allen here.
Do you feel hyper?
I usually do. I do have a pretty strong, energetic
Personality.
and yeah, it might get on some people's nerves over time.
Why?
Because I feel like I'm always thinking of stuff, and stuff's coming through my head like constantly.
Like
and
what kind of stuff?
And I verbalize it. Like I don't have I can't hold it in sometimes, and I just like spew.
What do you spew?
Like ideas of like, oh, let's do this. Why don't we ask this question to Blake Shelton? Or
like, give me an example.
Can I text this person because they're on my mind? Because do I need to text them now, or should I wait? Wait a second. What about tomorrow? When are we talking to Jason Derulo again? Is that see these kind of things like nonstop? Yeah, Blake Shelton.
Do you have his cell phone number?
I don't have Blake's number.
Do you have some celebs' cells?
I do.
Okay.
But no more than you, probably.
Oh, no. You probably have way more. You know them on a real level.
Yeah. You know, over the years, because I've interviewed all these awesome stars, and so you get to know them on a personal level. And living in Nashville helps, as you know, because you see people all the time. It's a fairly small town.
It really is, especially the music community.
There you go. And so, like, people are at Starbucks and
right.
You know, at Costco. So you end up, like, buying in bulk with Keith Urban on a Saturday.
Do you feel like being a host has given you a chance to really get to know people and really get to know stars on a deeper level? Because you're asking the personal questions.
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, I think people like to know about the personal lives to some degree, but I try not to be too, like, sensational with it, because I think that gets on my nerves, like reporters who are asking questions to get somebody to say something, like gotcha sort of stuff.
Right.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
and I try to avoid it, but a lot of artists want to talk about, like, who their wife is, or who they're sleeping with, who their girlfriend is. I mean, there's a way to do it with tact, and I think it's also trust. Like, they know I'm not going to be a bozo when I ask something. I'm just going to be a guy that they can. I'm not asking because I'm trying to pry. I'm asking because, you know, we have an audience to serve here at CMT, and they're interested genuinely in the life and lifestyles of the stars. So
how far will you go? Like, what do you like to cover when you're hosting?
You know, there's obviously things you have to do with every interview.
Like what?
You know, a lot of artists are here to talk about music, shockingly. They want to talk about music. So we want to always cover that. And I'm interested always. I'm a music fan. That's where I got my start. I mean, I began years ago doing this because my dad it was a huge record collection.
Your dad collected what kind of music?
Albums, like every kind, everything from, you know, country to rock to you know, rhythmic R&B stuff. So he covered the gamut of all of it, and so I heard all that growing up. And his tremendous, you know, thousands of albums, and I'm not kidding, thousands of albums he had.
Really?
In my mom and dad's bedroom. I'll never forget it. There was one wall about the size maybe of this room, and one wall was covered, you know, from ceiling to floor, wall to wall, with albums.
So would you just listen all day?
All the time. And so I loved music, and that's what drove me to do this. So when I'm talking to an artist, I genuinely want to know about the music. I want to know about where did that song come from? Why was that lyric so meaningful? What was going on in your life that made you write that, or that made that lyric seem meaningful to you to sing? So you got to cover that with an artist. But I think also, you know, we kind of think about what we do with all the radio shows and with Hot 20 on CMT TV as sort of like Jimmy Fallon. You know, let's have some fun with these people. So we like to play games. I love to play games. I love to, like, create stuff. That's stuff going through my head. Like, oh, why don't we play this game with so-and-so?
How fun that you can, like, play the silliest games ever.
I know. And
be an adult and get paid for it. And people love it.
It's the most fun stuff to see, too, I think, on TV. Yes. Like, you want to see Brett Eldredge squirt me in the eyeballs with a water gun.
All day long.
Right? I mean, seriously. So, yeah, and he did that, by the way. He had tequila water guns a couple weeks ago on the show, and filled with alcohol. Have you ever gotten, like, Jack Daniel's whiskey in your eyes?
I don't feel like that would feel good.
No, it burns like mad. So and the first shot he took at me was, like, right for the eyes.
That's a little rude.
I know. I was supposed to be aiming for the mouth.
Yeah, Brett.
But,
had he been drinking his water gun before he shot it at you?
I think we both had, if I'm honest. We both had a little too much of the water guns previous to the shoot. But anyway, so great moments like that are fun to create. And that's what you kind of want to bring out in all these interviews we do is, yeah, you want to cover the basics, but you also want to get some, fun stuff that's just outrageous too, because that's what I like to watch.
Oh yeah. How do you research your artists before you interview them? Or do you wing it?
No, I rarely wing it. I like to know my shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to show up unrehearsed.
Right.
You want it to feel unrehearsed.
Yes.
And the only way I get to that point of it feeling relaxed is if I'm prepared.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like school.
I don't think, yeah, exactly. You wouldn't
take a test, not studying.
Yeah, do you remember those days where you show up for a test and like you felt relaxed, like, okay,
yes.
This is gonna go great?
No, I was a terrible student. Actually, I really was.
I was too, actually.
I did not.
But
like
I do
school.
remember a few times like knowing that I knew the stuff, and therefore I was relaxed when I went in to take the test. It's the same way. So you want to make it feel like it's completely casual, like
casual.
But at the same time, that only comes through like kind of knowing who you're talking to and kind of knowing things of interest to you that you want to ask. Okay,
so I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to start with the game. Would you rather?
Would you rather? Okay, I love it. All right.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Would you rather have uncontrollable nose hair or ear hair? And you can't ever shave it.
Are you trying to tell me something?
No, I think your facial hair is really handsome.
Okay, thank you.
But if you had to have something growing wild and unruly, would it be nose hair or ear hair?
I guess ear hair, because I feel like I wouldn't see it.
You could like push it behind your ears, I guess.
I guess. Either one sounds bad to me though. Like, because nose hair, I feel like I'd see it every day because I, look in the mirror and stuff.
You could kind of like hide the ear hair a little better. Wear your beanie all the time.
Yeah, there you go. And I do pluck on a regular basis.
Plucking's important.
I know. Pluck, yeah, it is.
Do you pluck your ears?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to.
Okay, that's a dude thing. I don't think girls have ear hair. I have never had ear hair.
Really?
I really haven't.
I bet your husband has. Ask him about the ear hair.
I need to look at his ears.
Maybe he's got long hair though.
Yeah, he does.
See, I don't have any hair to cover up any of my ear hair is the problem. And so I just notice it probably more than most guys.
Okay.
But plucking of the ear hairs and nose hair too. Like you have to get in there. Because I feel like when I'm talking to artists too, because this is how I feel. Let me just be completely honest.
I just feel it.
Is it when I'm this close to people?
Yeah, like you don't want to have halitosis either.
Yeah, and you look this way. By the way, am I okay there? Halitosis?
Breathe on me. Oh, it's minty and fresh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was scared
it's like a spring brook.
But you're this close all the time, and I always feel like, okay, if I'm looking this way and this person's looking at me, they can see my ears, they can see my nose.
You're looking very clean shaven.
Okay, well,
but rugged, but yet groomed.
Rugged but groomed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, like you look like you take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm not like, oh my God, is something gonna crawl off his face.
I feel like I feel like it's just normal for me though. Like I've always been that way, like kind of meticulous, and I care about the way I look. And like,
I appreciate that. I like a well-dressed man.
It's very metrosexual though. Like,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
When you got a face like that, you got to take care of it all.
Okay. I feel better now then. Let me feel better about it.
Okay, so we're gonna go with ear hair.
Ear hair.
Okay, now this is a tough one. You really have to think about this.
Oh God. Okay.
Would you rather host the Hot 20 Countdown naked forever? Like you can never wear clothes. You have to host it on TV naked all the time.
Okay.
Or you can wear clothes you can wear clothes when you're hosting, but you have to live naked all the rest of the time.
Oh wow.
That's a tough.
Because that's like on TV naked versus
real life naked. Yeah. I mean,
that is a great question.
Thank you. I was really proud of that one.
You know what? Maybe I feel like. Okay, I'll make the choice to be naked in real life, and here's why.
All the time.
Here's why.
Okay.
Because on TV, millions of people see that.
Yeah.
And will see you in all your glory.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like I could make a lifestyle choice to stay at home in my real life, and I'll just have things delivered to me.
But wouldn't you be sad not being able to leave your house?
If I knew.
How would you do Barry's boot camp and working out? Because you love to exercise.
I do. I would probably have to. I don't love to. Do I love to exercise?
Well, you look like it.
I hate.
And on one of your bios, you said you love exercising.
I do. I enjoy it. I like to.
Well, you have those six-pack abs, so you have to work for them.
I know. Well, that's because I'm worried about being naked one day.
Yeah, you're preparing
in front of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think I would have like Blue Apron delivered, like the home meals that I could cook, and then I would just FedEx or UPS other items I would need from the grocery store, because you can. Oh, actually, you can do that from the grocery store now, can't you? Order this, and I guess I'd hire somebody who wouldn't mind seeing me naked.
And you just have to work all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's your only social activity with clothes on.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So really, I would only leave the house to go work.
So you have to love your job.
And I do.
Which, okay.
Okay.
And then we're winning with
okay.
I got it. That makes sense. Good choice.
Good question.
Thanks. I thought that was funny. Okay. Would you rather be a hoarder or have to compulsively clean all the time?
I'm already a compulsive cleaner.
Me too.
So
I love it.
I can't help it.
You love it. It's fun for you. Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yes.
If things are in order.
And I don't like dust.
Yeah.
Do you like dust?
No.
I love to vacuum.
I love to vacuum also, because of the job satisfaction that comes afterwards. Yes. I don't know if I enjoyed it in the midst of the task.
Okay.
But I was always one of those guys who also, whenever my dad would make me mow the lawn, or my grandpa, who had a riding lawnmower, which was way fun, much more fun than the push mower my dad had.
Yeah.
So I loved to go to my grandparents' house to mow the lawn. But I was also one of those guys who loved to make the lines straight in the yard.
Oh.
Like
so you are meticulous.
Make it perfect as it could possibly be.
Do you have the disorder of OCD? Or is it just right borderline?
I have a lot of disorders, but I don't think that.
What are they?
A lot of initials. The ADD and the ADHD. No, I don't have any of those disorders actually, but I always feel like I'm borderline on all of it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like like I said, I'm always going, and I think I have some organizational issues where I just like things compartmentalized and perfectly placed where they need to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but not to the point where I need medication.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
trust me, I've taken all the tests.
Well, good to know. It's good to know where you stand.
But I joke about it because I think a lot of people can relate to the fact that we're all so imperfect, you know?
Right? Isn't that what makes us beautiful?
I think so, yeah.
I do.
That we're all kind of going through whatever, and we all have this set of sort of traits or characteristics that many of us don't talk about, but they are uniquely us, be it this need to clean.
I love to clean.
Or be it this, racing mind, or, desire to sort of put things in compartments. Like those kind of things are how we're built and wired, and I think it's okay.
It is.
To have some of those disorders.
Well, it makes you human. Takes all kinds of kinds, says
it
Miranda.
Is. That's right.
I'm agreeing with that.
Time for some water.
Yeah, have a sip. Is that electrolyte?
It is.
See? So healthy. Even your water's healthy. Okay. Would you rather get a paper cut on your hand once a week, this is for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Get a paper cut on your hand once a week, or have your foot fall asleep every third hour for 10 minutes?
I love that you create these questions, first of all. Like, are you taking drugs when you write these?
Yeah.
Are there some medication?
Yeah. Just a lot of wine.
Wine. Is that your alcohol of choice?
You know, I don't really like alcohol. I'll drink it. Yeah. I used to drink alcohol when I was in my 20s, and it just does not serve me well. I'm one of those drinkers that I'm either going to cry, I'm going to break down, I'm going to or have a great time, or I might, beat you up.
So you don't do...
I drink. I mean, I'll have a couple drinks.
Right.
But I just don't really like to drink a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It's not good for anyone around me. I mean, honestly, I get really emotional. It's just the waterworks start flowing, and it's like, my husband's like, please.
Lay off.
Lay off the wine.
That's awesome.
What about you?
I don't drink a lot, but when I do, I like to get super smashed.
Okay, you go big or go home.
I just feel like if we're going to do this, let's do it.
Okay, I do not feel that way. So you must be a good drinker then. Like, you're fun.
Uh-huh.
Like, you have a good
so.
time. It's like party Cody?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a good time.
What's your drink of choice?
Whatever gets me drunkest the fastest. Usually.
So do you take shots and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Cody.
See, that's the way to go, though.
No, that's the worst way to go. Then all of a sudden you're blacked out.
See, I've never had that. I don't even know what that is like. I haven't been that drunk ever.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I've been very religious my whole life. Like,
you grew up really religious?
Super religious, and up until I was in my 30s, I had never gotten drunk.
What changed for you? I saw the light.
I think it was just maturing and realizing it was okay to.
It's not gonna make you.
That God is not going to hate me.
Yeah.
For drinking. I'm sure there's some people emailing right now. God will hate you for drinking.
Cody Allen is talking about God not wanting you to drink.
So I always had that perception though in my head, like that's the way. I couldn't.
You're a Baptist?
I couldn't do that. I did.
Strict Baptist.
Yeah.
Are your parents super strict?
Not really. Not terrible. You know, I've heard stories about people having childhoods where their parents were like very black and white. My parents were great, super awesome, and they never forced anything on me.
That's great.
But I tell you, I really brought religion on myself.
Okay.
I was a Mormon.
Voluntarily?
Voluntarily.
How did you decide to do that?
I know, it's crazy, but I'm so thankful for it, honestly, because it like made me such a great person. I think today I love the Mormon Church still, but there's very strict guidelines with all of that, and so why would I do that?
I don't understand the wife thing, because there's so many wives. You can have so many wives. Like,
well, that's actually not true.
Okay, explain.
It is. There are certain groups outside of the actual original Mormon Church that have that belief.
Okay.
Polygamy.
But that's not like the core.
But that's not at the core of it.
What's at the core of Mormon?
It's certainly not that. I mean, they believe in Jesus Christ and God and the same things that many Christians believe. I think the one thing that probably sets them apart is belief in the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
In addition to the Bible, they believe in the Bible, but also have the Book of Mormon. So that probably is one of the differentiation.
And what goes on in the Book of Mormon?
It's the story of ancient people who lived in the continent we live on now, known as the American continent, whereas the Bible was taking place in Israel and Jerusalem, and this was a book they believe took place here.
Oh, okay.
So,
is Jesus in the Book of Mormon?
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus visits these people also and has ministry among them as well.
What led you to being Mormon? How did you decide you wanted to do that?
I had a friend who was, and I liked the way it felt there at the church. It just felt right. I was still trying to figure out my way in life,
we all?
And I thought it was good.
Okay.
And when you like something, you think it's good, you want to be involved.
I love that.
And I'm so happy I was, because I learned so much about myself.
What did you learn about yourself?
Well, I think I learned how to be a good person, how to treat people right, how to communicate better, because a lot of religions sort of ask you to share things with people, and I think I learned how to talk to people and share stuff
in a way that's
in a way that was more personal, because obviously God is a very personal thing. I think. Also learned to pray and become close to God that way, and
that's awesome.
So it's all really good, but I just have, as I've evolved and gotten a little older, I've also decided okay, God's not going to hate me if I partake in alcohol or other things. And I have no idea how we got from here and the paperclip question, because I think that's what we were talking about. Something about a paperclip, I recall. A cut, and which I would definitely opt for that. By the way,
how did we get to that?
I don't know. I was trying to bring us back around to
circle it back. Okay, so
the paperclip would be much better to me, because that would be once a week. No big deal.
Versus every day, every third hour.
I mean, that seems like excessive.
Your foot going to sleep for 10 minutes. That's a lot.
It's crazy.
How did you get to Mormonism? Mormonism? From that?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll look at the tape. We'll go back and look at the tape in a second here.
Okay, so we got you'd like the paper cut, but then how did you decide to leave being Mormon? You decided to go on your own way.
Yeah.
You got what you needed from it. You took some great lessons, and you said, "I'm gonna just."
I always hate to say I left though, because it seems so permanent and
you
and I had a negative experience, and I love those people, and I love what I learned.
It's part of your journey.
Yeah, but we're all on a different sort of pathway, and so grateful for the one that I've been on, and thankful I had those experiences. And I think it's important for everybody to sort of look at their life and think that way, because I do think of life as a book.
I agree.
And every chapter is being written.
I feel the same way.
And so much of my life was enclosed in that chapter. But I think, sometimes we have to turn the page, and we decide to do things a little bit differently, and that's okay too, because that's our next chapter.
What do you want your book to feel like? You know, like when you read a book, you get a feeling from it. What do you want the experience of your life book to feel like?
Like a 007 movie?
Yes. You're like a sniper, like James Bond.
Yeah. Okay. You wouldn't be that cool, don't you?
It's like running really fast, always like dodging bullets and guns.
Danger.
Looking great in suits.
Exactly.
Always having a cocktail.
Things. Exactly. I want all those things.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think I want it to be what it's supposed to be and not.
Oh, that's profound.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kind of.
Just letting it unfold the way it was meant to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's okay to be ambitious and like want things and like move things to happen. I do that a lot of that in my life. You know, I kind of like have an idea and I just do all I can to make that idea come to life. And a lot of my story here at CMT and beyond has been by way of I don't want to say forcing it, but like creating it in my head.
Oh, so you write vision boards and stuff?
I don't do that, but I do think in my head like...
You dream up where you want your future to go.
If you want your future to be a certain way, play that movie over and over again in your head until it happens.
Did you do that with CMT?
Totally.
Tell me the movie you played.
Well, I mean, ever since I was a young kid, I wanted to be on radio or TV. I thought I wanted to be like a TV meteorologist for a long time.
Which you got your big break at 23 in Dallas at a radio station, right?
Yeah.
And you're from South Carolina.
Yeah, I grew up doing radio at 15. I got my first job.
As like a DJ or host?
On air in 15, yeah. And
getting it, baller.
I know, right? And no, I was like so thankful to have like my first job then. And I did a lot of like grunt work. You know, I would do whatever, like drive the station van to you know remote stops. And there was actually this one of the stations I worked for early on was their mascot was a possum.
Oh wow!
So I would dress up as the possum.
Oh, I bet you looked so good.
Hot.
I mean, were people just flocking
so
to you?
Hot.
You could have just had to like carry mace around and a taser, I'm sure.
Yes, yes. So
That's one of the ugliest animals, unfortunately.
It is, but really it makes a really cute mascot, apparently.
Okay.
And Opie the possum was his name, and then he had because Opie became like such the rage and so popular.
You made him that.
I'd like to think so.
I mean, I'm just saying, put that special sauce on it.
Right. Opie had to have a companion. A helpmate, if you will. Okay. Going back to some biblical references here. Okay. And so that was Dolly Possum, like Dolly Parton, Dolly Possum.
Dolly Possum.
Clever. So clever.
Gosh, Cody.
So anyway.
Not just a hat rack.
Nope. Nope. I'm not. So, not just a hat. I'm using that.
I stole that from Kelly Pickler. I can't take credit.
That's so good, though.
She says it all the time.
Who does she say it to?
Whenever like she says something really smart, she'd be like, not just a hat rack.
I'm still using that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's like a great tweet too.
Thank Kelly. She's the origin.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, take it and run.
Pickler, wherever you are.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Shout out. Mm-hmm. So what were we talking about?
Dolly Possum.
Yeah, so that was my early radio start, and then I wanted to be like a meteorologist, maybe on TV or something. I would draw like weather maps for my parents, and then like show them where their frontal systems were moving, and
really,
so I was very involved with like stupid, dorky things at an early age.
No, you were not.
Very much.
I always have fear this isn't recording, which would be the worst.
Is
great. No, we got it. No, we have to start the whole interview over.
I don't know if I can recite all that again.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
The same way.
Okay, so you created Dolly Possum.
I didn't create it, but someone clever, much more clever than I did. And
then you got a lot of buzz going on here. That's when your radio career really started taking off. You're like, Cody is creative.
And I did all my high school dances too. I did like my high school.
Do you dance?
I would be the DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a bad dancer.
Can you like scratch the records and stuff?
Yeah, totally.
That is very hard.
It's not easy.
It is not easy. Jen and I had to do that on Amazing Race, and it was the hardest challenge of all challenges. Yes. So you're a scratcher.
I mean, kind of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old school style. These DJs today, they use, it's all on iTunes, basically,
Okay.
And they're mixing in between two computer screens. Not quite the same, but
not quite the
still
same.
A talent.
Okay, so you just knew you wanted to do this. How did you know that you wanted to be involved with the radio?
I have no idea. I think it may have been, again, my dad with music.
Records.
And then I I loved the idea of like what the DJ said on the radio, like in between the songs, like tell the stories of the songs to people or talk to the artists. I always loved all that. And I was a genuine, complete nerd for all that stuff. And pop culture stuff or like whatever. So I loved it. And so I just knew.
Okay.
I just knew.
So you got your big break at 23. Mm-hmm. And then after that happened, how did you get to CMT? Because now you like run this joint. Let's be real.
Oh gosh, well, a lot of really good people helped me get here. You know, everybody has their connections to how things happened, and mine happened because I think I did a really good job in Dallas at that radio station you mentioned at 23. Mm-hmm. And I say that with humility because, again, a lot of people are around me. But I was so excited every day to show up to work there that I felt like, oh, my God, this is like I dreamed of it.
Yeah.
So I get to do it every day, you know, come in and do a radio show. And I was able to help with the music on the station. And so it was all a dream come true. And one of the guys who recognized that I was decent at my job was the guy who runs CMT now. Okay. And so whenever they started to do like radio stuff here, they thought, okay, who could we call? And luckily,
they just like plucked you out?
Yeah. Wow. Plucked me out. Here I am.
I love it.
Yeah. So then I'm like a lot of people. I saw CMT and saw the videos, and I wanted to be, to some degree, Lance Smith all those years, watching him do the top 20 countdown. And so.
And now you are doing that.
Again.
That's kind of amazing that you visualized it. So what did the movie look like in your head that you visualized?
I never thought it was possible to be here because it seems so far off, and I think a lot of people's dreams seem that way. Like you think, oh, that's so far away. Like there's no way. I mean, I can think about it all the time, but it's not going to necessarily happen. Like, and then it does, and heaven's open. I don't know what it is. Like. There's some magnetic pull in the atmosphere, the universe, something.
Do you believe that? Like you're drawn,
I think so.
Like attracts like. Like if you put it out there, you can achieve it.
I really do believe that.
I believe that too.
Like, I as I grow older, I believe it more and more.
Yeah.
I think we're all we have intuition.
Yeah.
We have a sense. Mm-hmm. And that sense is you have to follow it and listen to it closely. And
have you manifested some crazy stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. Crazy. I don't know if it's crazy, but I mean, yeah, like being here or thinking about, okay, well, what could we do here? Like what things would I want to do on Hot 20? Again, you know, using the water gun example or whatever. Things like that where you just dream it up and figure out how to do it. And whether it's God who's moving that or you who's moving the.
Well, you're in connection with God.
Yeah, and all that.
If
all that is happening in the right alignment, I think, yeah, those things do come together. And so some crazy, what do you call it, manifests?
Manifests.
Yeah, happen. So it's good.
Okay, so at CMT, you host a lot of stuff, which is the CMT Radio Live with Cody Allan. You have, which reaches over 100 stations. Like you have 100 radio. That's a huge syndicated radio show.
Yeah. Well,
that people are listening to you.
We do After Midnight, which is even bigger. So it reaches.
So you do both of those.
Uh-huh.
And you host CMT All Access and Hot 20.
Yeah.
And are you hosting, is it like music and a movie?
Yeah, I used to host that.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So it's.
Do you work all the time?
Yeah.
Like all day?
Yeah. I work a lot, but I love it.
Yeah.
Like, it's never work. I mean, there are moments where I'm tired, and everybody gets tired. Your body gets worn down naturally, but I am so driven, and I love to show up here every day. I mean, look at this. So
it's awesome, and this room is amazing. This is we're sitting in the After Midnight room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I like being in.
We do all the radio stuff in here. All the interviews happen on the couch or nearby on the radio set, and then all the Hot 20 stuff is like, Is
that a blast?
So fun.
Do you have a favorite show to host?
Of all these you mentioned, you mean?
Yeah, or of all the shows. Do you host anything else that I missed? Probably.
No, but I would say when we do CMT Music Awards in June, those are that's my.
Do you do the red carpet?
Yeah, that's my favorite week of the year.
Nice.
I love doing all that stuff because it's just like.
And that's totally on the fly. Like you have you probably know about the artist, but it's not like you know who you're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Second.
You have like an idea of who might show up. So you spend a few days before like going over. You know, I like to always think I have 3 things to say to every person.
So you're super prepared.
Yeah, and I memorize what exactly I want to say to them, and how I want to say it.
Do you have a good memory?
Pretty good.
Oh, that's lucky.
But I'm also pretty good. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good at conversation too. Like, so if I forget something, I can always, hopefully, still make a conversation out of it.
Oh yeah.
Because you never know what someone might say, and you want to also be listening, so that they can, so you can respond
and have a flow.
And have a flow to it, so it doesn't seem like you're just rattling off bullet points.
Okay, let's do a fake conversation. Will you interview me just like real quick? How would you start it?
So. Hyper.
Yeah.
Hyper. Carolyn. So, have you always been hyper?
Yeah, pretty much. I've always been very hyper.
When was the first time you realized like you were hyper? Like, did someone say something to your parents? Or
I get super excited to meet people, like to the point where it freaks people out. They don't think I'm being real. I get overwhelmed with excitement because I love people.
Right.
And I love adventure, and I love chatting with people, so I come on really strong.
Your husband, obviously in 1,000 Horses, he has probably had a chance to introduce you to lots of people because of that connection. So who have you been starstruck by in meeting?
You know, I will say this. I actually had a vivid moment watching him on tour with Jason Aldean. I had not met Jason Aldean yet, and I've had the great fortune to meet a lot of people in the industry. So, like, it's not like I'm, like, not impressed and starstruck by people, but, you know, they've become more approachable being in this industry for so long. I remember watching Jason Aldean, and I remember thinking, I almost don't want to meet him because the feeling I have watching him is that he's so, like, powerful and so huge that I don't want him to become real. I remember thinking that. And then I met him, and he's like the nicest guy ever, and he was so approachable, and I'm like, okay, I still feel like you're a huge superstar, but you know that feeling of just like someone's like almost not human?
Do you get past that ever where you feel like these superstars that you're getting to know are normal people? Or are they in your head always superstars?
No, I get past it to where they're normal.
Really?
Yes.
See, I don't always get past it.
With some people that I really get the chance to get to know.
Yeah.
Like some people I still like, I'm kind of cautious and a little nervous. But yeah, I do. I've been able to like normalize them, which is like cool on one hand, but on the other hand, it's like, I'm sad they're not this false creature in my head.
So with Jason.
Look at you just taking this. Now I feel like we're really in an interview. You're so good, Cody.
You wanted me to do this, right?
Yeah.
So with Jason, do you feel like he's like a normal person now? Yeah. Obviously.
And his wife is awesome.
Yeah, she's so sweet.
And he's totally just, normal.
So can you watch him on the stage the same way as you did before?
It's a little different. It changed. I mean, I still have so much respect for his music, but now I can like see him as a regular person.
Yeah.
So it was a moment. It was a moment where, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew once I met him, I was like, I wonder how this is going to feel once I get to know him. Okay, so look, you're like a pro. That was amazing.
In scene.
And back. Cody, I mean, just on the fly. It's like you're born to do this.
I do feel that way.
Do you ever get stressed out and nervous when you're interviewing anyone? Like, has there ever been anyone that you've been so freaked out to interview?
I mean, yeah. I do get a little nervous sometimes. But I think it's a good nervous. Like, you want to be a little... You don't ever want to feel too comfortable, I don't think. But
who's made you the most nervous?
Maybe Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Only because she is an icon.
But she probably was so easy to be around.
And Dolly Possum, too, I remember. Just kidding. No, she was great. I mean, you meet her and it's like, oh, my God, she's so relaxed. And, exactly how you want her to be, if you will. Like, you know, you see her on TV, and you know all these songs she sings that are just timeless. And then you meet her, and she's that funny, genuine Dolly. Yeah. But the first time, I remember...
Got a little, like, sweaty hands?
A little bit nervous, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, guys like... I like Keith Urban a lot.
He's so good looking.
He'll make you a little bit nervous, too. So.
I mean, and he's so good looking, and he feels like he just has his, like, whole... shit together, you know?
Yeah, and he's so much. I feel like he's so much smarter than I am.
Yes, he's so wise too. He exudes wisdom.
Right, he's a very bright guy and a fun interview and always really great. He'll make you a little nervous, and you know, Trace Atkins probably too. He's a big
tall drink of
burly
water.
Dude, you don't know what he's gonna say.
And he's not like overly like friendly. I mean, he's friendly, but he's not bubbly. Maybe.
Yeah, he's not the bubbly type.
Yeah,
but for some reason we always hit it off. We always say funny things, and he's a great interview.
Who was your biggest crush that you've interviewed?
biggest crush. I mean, Carrie Underwood, like,
she's perfect.
Is fantastic. I mean, every time I see her, and again, she makes me like my palms sweaty too. But she's great. The legs and the whole thing
her legs
show
are
up
fantastic.
every time I see her.
Oh, you always see the legs?
They always show up. And
that's nice.
With that, like, what do girls put on their legs? That stuff that's
like spray tan?
I don't know about
glow?
that. It's like a glow. Yeah, that like glittery.
Glitter?
Yeah.
So they're like
just
shimmery.
the right amount to it. It's not like an over shimmer either. It's just a little subtle,
like iridescent glow
shimmer. Yeah. She's good with that.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing there.
Okay. What's the craziest story you can share with me that you've had while interviewing with someone?
I'm trying to think of a story that I can tell that doesn't involve bad words.
I think you can cuss on podcasts.
Can we?
It depends on if you're comfortable with cussing.
Toby Keith is one of my favorite interviews always. Basically because every interview starts with a red Solo cup and something in it. He requires that of me, apparently.
Love it.
He likes to get you a little slosh before going on camera.
The interview's really good.
I mean, yes, it's always really fun with him. So I can't even tell the story though.
Oh, come on. You can't start and not stop.
I can't. I can't tell it. It's woman related and people will hate me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he just made a reference one time to a woman's parts and it was really funny.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
We can use our minds.
Just go crazy in your own head. Just use your imagination for that one.
Okay.
Lame answer. Sorry.
Okay, I want to say Dirk Bentley said this about you. He said Cody's show always feels fresh and current. He cares about country music's past and future, and he always worked to make his shows exciting, interesting, and personal. That's a very nice, professional, badass quote from Dirk Bentley.
I know.
I love Dirk's.
So do I.
And he's hosting the ACMs this year.
I know.
ACMs or CMAs?
ACMs.
He's gonna do so great.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be really great. He's he's been a great friend for a long time, and we kind of started together. Like I was doing radio about the time he started doing music, and so, I feel like we kind of came up in the business about the same time. His career much bigger than mine, by the way, but nonetheless,
it's all relative. For hosting, you're the top of the top, Cody.
Well, thank you.
You're the king.
He's a good guy, and yeah, I paid him to say most of that.
That's nice. Okay, I like to end my interviews with leave your light. So leave me some inspiration. How have you been inspired? What inspires you, or how do you want to inspire the world?
Wow. So what inspires me?
Or just anything.
Or just anything.
Just inspiration. Give me some inspiration. It can be from your childhood or something that you think about all the time.
I feel like we've talked a lot about inspiring things here.
That's
like
kind
I
of the
feel
point
like
of this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I was going to leave you with anything, especially in regards to show business and like what I do every day, I would say I love the quote that, and it's actually true for everything that I do, that there is no elevator to the top. I assume always I'm going to take the stairs and have to take the stairs to get there. So that means work hard to me and kick ass and go fast as you can, while at the same time enjoying the joy that comes along with being in that journey as well. So, yeah, if those two thoughts can mingle, I think they should. That, yeah, you got to work hard to get where you want to be, but part of getting there is enjoying that. And part of actually accomplishing what it is you want is enjoying that journey too. So
I love that.
Yeah, so take the stairs, but enjoy the walk.
Not just a hat rack. Not just a hat rack.
Not just a hat rack.
Cody Allan, everyone.
Quote of the day.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we did this. And I hope I didn't boggle your mind too much with weird religion stories.
No.
That's an untold. A lot of people don't know that.
I have the exclusive on Cody Allan and his religious journey. Wow. On Hyper Caroline Hobby.
Wow.
Who thought I could get an exclusive from Cody Allan?
Wow.
That's how good I am.
I love you. Thank you for
Tim.
coming in.
You're the best.
You're awesome.
Okay, bye.